Hey everyone, Chris with another What Sold on eBay video. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn how to make money on eBay and different things to look out for, and maybe learn a thing or two about some of these products, you definitely want to go down there and click the subscribe button. I am Chris, reseller for over 33 years. I've done the math. It's that long. It's been a long journey here. And so with this channel, you'll be able to see the different things that we sold here in our charity shop. I am the e-commerce manager for the American Cancer Society. Link is going to be below. Let's get right into it. And at any time during this video, please click the like button. That definitely helps out the algorithm. And if you learned anything, definitely that shows you and shows me and shows the YouTube algorithm that you appreciate what I do. So I really appreciate it. Let's get right into it. That's why you're really here, is to learn about the stuff. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have two huge deep dives. Well, not huge, but we're going to have two deep dives at the very end with some products that you might not even known about. And so we're going to take a dip into Worth Point and check that out like usual. Like I said, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate each one of my viewers and your comments, and all that stuff really helps out, and I really appreciate it. So let's get right into it. First up, we have this Louis Vuitton. This is a very nice purse, handbag, whatever you want to call it. Actually, you know what? What's the difference between a purse and a handbag? This is a guy's asking. Leave a comment below. Let me know what the difference between a handbag and a purse is. I really would appreciate that. Anyways, this is a beautiful piece of art. We actually took a best offer for $700 on this, and whoever bought this actually got a really good deal. It's like pretty much brand new. And, you know, Louis Vuitton, I mean, okay, I'm going to give you guys a freaking really crazy pro tip right here, right off the bat. Right off the bat. This is why you come here, for these pro tips. Do you see the stitching, how it's not straight, how it's kind of offset a little bit per stitch? That's one of the things that you should look out for when you're looking at a Louis bag, is a lot of the stitching is going to be offset. It's not going to be straight. That's one of the little things they do that they don't really tell you about, that will show you that it is a genuine Louis. Now, that's just one of the little things, and that's a pro tip. Not too many people actually know about that. So you're actually learning some crazy stuff. I didn't learn that till I talked to someone that deals exclusively with these in another high-end boutique online, and they were telling me all the different things that, you know, they look out for, especially like the stitching. See how it's got some offset stitching there too? Oh, especially on this top. See how it's offset? It's not straight. And you just look at the hardware, look at everything. See how perfect this bag looks? Like, anything that's going to be a knockoff is not going to be perfect. And as you can see here, I think I did take a picture of and also every Louis bag is going to have this kind of, well, I think the newer ones, I haven't really seen any vintage ones, but the newer ones will have this kind of leather code tag in there. Some of them actually have holograms, and that code will actually tell you, there's a site online where you can look into the different codes, and that code will actually tell you the manufacturing location and the year that it was made. So look those up. If it doesn't match with what you have, it's probably a fake too. But I mean, look at this thing. This thing was, you know what, to be honest, like, this is probably the most gorgeous handbag I've ever seen come in through the shop. Like, this thing is a work of art. I couldn't even find this colorway. It's like a menthol green, I guess they were calling this, or a mint green. I couldn't find anything online about this bag. I did find this bag in different colors, but the green I never found. So it was super rare to begin with. We tried to go as high as like $2,400 when we first listed this, and then there was a lot of watchers, but no one was really pulling the trigger. So like after a month and a half later, someone sent an offer for $700 and we took it. So they got a good deal, because this bag is absolutely amazing. And I think I've said too much about this bag. But anyways, I hope you learned a little bit of something about Louis Vuitton. At least, you know, if you're looking for authentic ones. And definitely go down there and click a like button if you've never heard about the offset stitching. See how it's not straight? It's kind of like every stitch is a little bit of like kind of tilted to the side a little bit. And of course, you know, just looking at everything else, just you have to look up the whole picture. Everything is pretty much perfect. I mean, these bags sell for thousands of dollars retail, so these things have to be perfect. And this is a perfect bag. In any stretch of the imagination, this is an amazing bag. So we're gonna like start this video off with a bang. This was the highest sale of the month so far, and definitely check in our, you know, every month we do at the beginning of every month we do an end of the month sale video, and I'll post the link up here to the one that we did for January. Those seem to be the most popular videos here on my channel, so I really appreciate your subscriptions and your comments. Next up, we have this Brighton. For those who don't know, like, this is a brand I've never heard of, and we've been getting more and more of this stuff in. It actually sells very well. So this is a Bolo brand. You look out for Brighton. It's a Bolo brand, especially if you can find them brand new in the boxes and stuff. They do all kinds of women's shoes, sandals, kind of pumps, and kind of fun little summery shoes and things. But anyways, look out for this brand, Brighton. It kind of looks like a cheap brand when you kind of look at it real quick. You're like, oh, this box is kind of like cheap looking. But the product is actually not bad. Really nice. It's not like super high end, but it's pretty nice. And the stuff retails actually in the hundreds. So definitely look out for this brand. This is a brand new sandal. I want to say we took a best offer for like $64 on this one. And like I said, look out for if anything, just look out for this brand. It'll say it on the uppers there or whatever, but definitely look out for this one. Next up, we have this Christian Dior, and this was kind of like a funny kind of photo from Instagram. A lot of people love this Instagram photo because I bought these like cheap $10 kind of footies because I needed something for my sandals to kind of put in there, and I was looking for something really cheap and inexpensive. And like these these feet are so small that they don't even fit in there. And someone suggested I should probably just push them back in there, or but they needed to sit back in the strap. Anyways, this is a Christian Dior shoe. This is what it looks like. That's what the label looks like. Oh, and my apologies. I've been told like I do this, and it annoys the hell out of people when I do this. So I'm gonna try to do my best at like pausing a little bit here, because I guess that's what you want. You want me to pause and talk about what I'm talking about instead of going like, oh, this, do boom, 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 bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. I won't do that. So the Christian Dior, that's what it looks like. And I'll show you the lower ones. And yeah, that's what it looks like. It's got some wear. These still sold for $101. This is actually on auction. And so I can imagine just someone maybe going in and repairing that bottom. I wouldn't even know how to do that. But the uppers look pretty nice for the amount of like, wear that was on the bottom. These things actually look pretty good. And I've done this kind of new thing about shoe rating, because like it's hard for me to explain everything, like every little piece. So it's easier for me. I rated this at a 6 out of 10, and when I really think about it, it's probably like a 7.5 out of 10. But I kind of undergraded it, and I kind of do grades for the clothing and the shoes, just so it's like easier for someone to understand. Like, well, if this guy's grading it at a 6 out of 10, then it must be like not so great. But then they can look at the photos. So, anyways, I think I undergraded this one a little bit, but it still looks pretty good. And we were very surprised. We started this at $9.99. And by the way, you could find really great deals at our American Cancer Society shop, and I'll put a link below. And I really appreciate everyone. Money goes to cancer research, rides, housing, different projects, wigs. Like there's a lot of great things that the society does. So I'm really honored to be a part of their business and charity. They do really great work. It's a great mission. Next up, we have this Casio. This is a vintage Casio. This is what is this? AMW. It's got some stuff. Anyways, you can usually look at the model numbers on the back. They usually have it like, see, it's right there in the top right corner. Usually you can look that kind of stuff up. For the most part, watches, a lot of the information is going to be on this one bell. And by the way, I did a Rolex video, and I'm going to put a link up above. It shows you how to open these backs. You see how there's like the notches around the sides. You can take a rubber ball if you don't have the tool, and I highly suggest buying the kit that's on Amazon. And maybe if I can remember, I'll put a link below. There's a watch fixing kit on Amazon. It's like $20, and it comes with a bunch of stuff. But anyways, you could just take a rubber ball to the back of this and kind of twist it, and it'll come open. And I should probably actually do a video on that. But anyways, back to what I was suggesting. Casio, vintage Casio watches, they go for decent money. So if you're out there, this is definitely garage sale stuff, because you'll find these Casio watches just lying in a box of like 25, the 25-cent boxes and the dollar boxes that just have the junk drawer boxes. Pick this stuff up all day long, especially if you can get this for $1 or under. These things can easily sell for $10. So that's kind of the price point. unless I know that it's brand new and it's gonna, and you had the time to look up if it's something that's in a case or in a in a box or something. And so definitely look out for Casio stuff. And then there's some Casios that go for like over $100. There's actually a lot of them from the 80s. The calculator one, um, the calculator Casio goes for. You know what? You know what? Frick it, dude. Let's do. I'm gonna show you. You know, I'm gonna kind of deviate from what I normally do here just to show you the calculator Casio watch that goes for a lot of money. It's the kind of the older one. Let me show you real quick. My apologies for kind of taking us on a little side journey here. If we go to highest, those aren't the ones I'm looking at. Though the G-Shock is another thing you should probably look out for. This one. There's one that's like a calculator. I don't know if this is the one. There's a one that's like a calculator and it actually can change TV channels. I don't know if it's this one. This one actually has its case. But anyways, if you ever see Casio calculator watches, definitely pick them up if the price is right. This is the one I was thinking of right here, the one that was the older one with the buttons. There is also a Casio watch. I think it's Casio that you can change TV channels with it. Yeah, here it is, a remote control digital watch. This one, when we had these when we were teenagers, or someone that had these in school, they'd change the channels on the teacher. Oh, it was so good. It was like the best prank ever. But anyways, these were really cool. This is the watch I was really telling you about to look out for. It's like you can change the channel with your watch. This is like a universal remote kind of before even those were a thing. This is something that was from like I want to say these were made in like the early to mid 90s. This particular one. But definitely look out for any cat. I don't care. I can't believe I went on a sidetrack. But anyways, if you actually enjoyed this kind of little sidetrack, definitely click a like button because you know some of you might not know about the calculator watches that they actually go for a crazy amount of money. Next up, we have this Thrasher Magazine hat. For those who don't know, Thrasher Magazine is a skateboard magazine. It's been out for since the 80s, the early 80s. And so Thrasher Magazine stuff, even Thrasher Magazines, the old magazines go for a crazy amount of money. I was a skateboarder back in the day for many years. I was actually a pro amateur in the mid 90s. And so I know a lot about this. As a matter of fact, I did a video about skateboards, and I'm going to post a link above if I can remember. Definitely go and check that video out if you want to learn anything, because there's some old school skateboards from the 80s that are, if you can find those brand new, they go for thousands of dollars. And I think it's time for me to probably do another updated video on that because there's some other things that I think I missed in that video. But definitely go up there and check that video out if you want to learn anything more about skateboards. But I'm just showing you this because Thrasher is a kind of like a brand you should look out for. If you can find some of the 80s shirts that are in decent condition, those shirts can go for, you know, up to $100 if not more. Even old skateboard shirts. But like I said, that's a whole video in itself, and go and check out that video for sure. This sold for $19.99 plus $5.99 shipping. This is a weird one. This is a Tiffany and Company. I said scoop, sugar, perfume, funnel. I'm gonna be honest. At first, I thought this was a cocaine spoon, but I'm like, why would Tiffany and Company make a cocaine spoon? But I mean, you know, they've been around for a while, and cocaine was actually used a lot in the 20s and 30s for medicinal uses, you know, like dentistry and all this kind of stuff. So I thought maybe this could be it. But what I've learned through my research, because I actually did some pretty crazy research on this Tiffany and Company, and for those that don't know, it says Tiffany and Company back there. And these little spouts, these little funnel spouts, are usually for perfume. So basically, you would, you know, have some perfume in a little kind of hole that you couldn't really put the perfume in, but this is kind of a funnel to put the perfume in. And you can actually look up Tiffany and Company perfume funnels, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I thought this scoop is honestly, the scoop I think is just for the thumb, so that you have your thumb has somewhere to kind of grip this thing while you're pouring in the perfume into your favorite perfume bottle. Because that was a thing also back in the 20s and the 30s was, you know, people had perfume bottles that they just kind of used over and over again. And, you know, they would take their favorite perfume and just fill it back up. And so there's that. So anyways, look out for this. There are cocaine scoops out there. This isn't one of them. But, you know, just, I don't know. That's just another kind of odd thing to kind of look out for and stuff like that. But anyways, this is what it looks like. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, it did have some residue on it, so I thought, that's what this was at first, but whatever. Speaking of Christian Dior, we got some Dior glasses, and look at that funky mannequin. That thing just like, my goodness. And this is what the side looks like. Usually Dior, they'll let you know that it's a Dior. They'll let you know with these loud pink fonts. Anyways, these are, glasses are probably one of the most counterfeited things because they're just so easy to produce. So just do your due diligence if you ever come across sunglasses like, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all the higher end ones. Even Ray-Bans for the most part are very easily um, counterfeited and stuff like that. But so I guess my pro tip I can say is if it feels incredibly cheap, it probably is knockoff. There's not much really I can tell you. The difference is, even though if you take a really good look, usually for the most part, quality is always gonna trump quality. So definitely look out for that kind of stuff, and definitely. I think I say definitely too many times. Definitely, 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 definitely. I think I got it out of my system. Anyways, this is nice. It came with its box. And I should actually probably stop drinking coffee before I do these videos because I get all nasally because it's early in the morning and I think it's the milk and, I don't know what it is. But anyways, my apologies for that if I'm sounding a little nasally today. Next up, we have this big old box of watches. This is broken repair watches. We got all kinds of watches. This thing was like 18 pounds, by the way, almost 19 pounds. If you are buying lots on eBay, if you do this kind of thing, just put it all together, put a lot together, show some photos. We took bids on this. This reached $100. There's a Casio right there. These things all had issues. Well, not all of them. I mean, there are some actually watches we probably could have pulled out of here and sold individually. But then again, that's why we did the lot. There you go, 18.8. There's not really much to say about this. It's one of those lots. And so if you're not lotting stuff up and you want to get rid of things before you go and get a tax write-off or donate it, just try to lot things up. You could definitely be doing that. Next up, we have this Kid Robot sealed case of blind boxes. For those who don't know, Kid Robot is a urban designer vinyl company. They started I want to say they started in the 90s, and they've really become a really multi-million-dollar company. There's Kid Robot logo. Anyways, there's basically little figures in here. You open them up, you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like a mystery box, and these are the odds. There's Deadpool, and these are labbits, these kind of rabbit things, and we're gonna get into that. We're gonna actually take our first deep dive into Worth Point. Kid Robot is known for the money figure, and it's like not money like MONEY, it's MUNNY. This is what the money looks like, and let me just show you what this one looks like right here. This is a money figure, so when you see this kind of figure, they also do Dunnies, which is like a rabbit version of this kind of guy. If you ever see these, usually the larger ones go for the most amount of money. Now, you saw these ones that are up here going for thousands of dollars. Those are customs, which means someone went and painted these and made them one of a kind or two of a kind or 10 of a kind. And so those aren't the really ones to look out for because you're probably not going to find that. You're probably going to find like something like this Family Guy set in a garage sale, maybe a box of these different figures. Now, they all come with accessories, so if you're going to sell these individually, make sure that you do your research and you make sure that it's not missing an accessory. Because if you try to sell these individually as complete and it's missing something, it'll lead you down a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. Always sell stuff as is. Try to make it as clear as possible that you don't know that something's missing something. And like I said, it's just another collectible to be on the lookout for. And they're definitely out there. I've seen them at garage sales. Like, look at this. This is like someone sold a crate. You're going to find like something like this at a garage sale, like just a box of this kind of stuff. Someone could have easily, and you could do some online arbitrage. If you bought this collection for $255, you could probably squeeze $400 or $500 out of this if you sold all these individually. So that's something to look out for. There's there's a T-shirt down there that could easily sell for 15. All these little figures can easily sell for 10 to 15. It looks like there's a bunch of them. But anyways, I wouldn't get too crazy into this if you don't know the genre. I mean, I've been around designer toys for a long time. As a matter of fact, I was an artist. I went by the name of Evilos. And by the way, if you want to see something, let me show you my stuff here. If you go to Evilos, this is the stuff I did. I've sold some art for a pretty crazy amount of money too. You know, I sold this custom R2D2 that I made from a Google Android thing, and it had lights and everything, and it made sounds, and it was cool. That sold for $1,300. So, if you're an artist and you want to, make some extra money, maybe look into making some art on these little figures and stuff. So, I did pretty well over the years. I was courted by Disney a couple times. I was actually courted by Nintendo and Toys R Us, and nothing really actually panned out, unfortunately. But that's just life, and that's a whole other video in itself, and that actually kind of makes me depressed when I think about it. I even made pins, like kind of like fantasy pins, and those even on the secondary market go for a crazy amount of money. That gray pin right here, this gray pin in the corner is the first pin I ever made. That goes for like $100, $200 just for that pin, and I wish I would have saved them. I wish I would have made more. I don't want to wish I would have made more. I wish I would have saved more. I basically gave all those pins away. And so it's just crazy to see my art. But anyways, if you're an artist, definitely look into making art if you want to, make some more money on eBay doing stuff. It's not a glamorous kind of job, but it's definitely out there. Speaking of Disney, we have this Disney Cruise Line. This sold for $74.99. This was a rare piece of, exclusive, and it had a little boat. These are those nesting dolls, Rushing nesting dolls. And this one actually had a crack. On the very first one, the very largest one had a crack down the middle, and it still sold for $74.99. We tried to get as $150 because I couldn't find any information on the set. There was another set that was made of nesting dolls that sold for around $125-$100. And so since I couldn't find any information at all on these, I thought, I'm just going to bump the price up. And I used my high-low theory, and for those who don't know, the high-low theory is basically when you price high and you just bring the price down, and eventually you'll find someone that'll buy your item because there's no price discovery. And if you don't know what price discovery is basically, if something you've never seen online and, you need to find where that price is, it's hard to do with some things. And I think I'm doing that thing again where people get pissed off when I go. Anyways, Disney Cruise Line stuff, definitely look out for that. We're going to take a deep dive into Worth Point. Noah, so basically all these artists, they do some exclusive stuff for Disney Cruise Line. This stuff is out there, like this model boat, $900. Some of Noah's stuff, you're probably never going to find these Vinomations, but there's some pins, there's some exclusive pins that go for a crazy amount of money. So just when you're out there, if you see Disney Cruise Line stuff, definitely take another look because you never know. These Galleria light pieces are really cool. They're like these little shadow boxes that light up, and they're small. I think this is probably like a 4x6, but they're deep, and they light up. So those are another thing I can do. From this one video alone, I can do multiple videos on all this kind of stuff. And so, like I said, it's out there. If you did enjoy this program, definitely go down there, click the like button, leave a comment, let me know. Just say hello. Just honestly, just go down there and say hello. It helps the algorithm out. YouTube says, oh, people actually like this video. So I really appreciate that. And like I said, if you're not subscribed and you want to learn more stuff about eBay, definitely go down there, click the bell and all that clickable stuff. Go down there and click all the buttons. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.